ਦੇ ਅੱਜ ਦੇ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ 'ਚ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਵਾਗਤ ਹੈ ਜੀ। ਉਮੀਦ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਦਿਨ ਹਮੇਸ਼ਾ ਇਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਬਹੁਤ ਚੰਗਾ ਗੁਜ਼ਰਿਆ ਹੋਏਗਾ। ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕੋਈ ਨਾ ਕੋਈ ਅੱਜ ਟੀਚਾ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਉੱਠੇ ਹੋ ਆਪਣੇ ਘਰਾਂ 'ਚ ਤੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇਹ ਸੋਚਿਆ ਹੀ ਹੋਣਾ ਕਿ ਅੱਜ ਅਸੀਂ ਕੋਈ ਨਾ ਕੋਈ ਨਵਾਂ ਮਾਰਕਾ ਮਾਰਨਾ ਹੀ ਮਾਰਨਾ। ਪਰਮਾਤਮਾ ਕਰੇ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਜੋ ਵੀ ਸੋਚ ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ, ਜੋ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੀ ਅੱਜ ਦਿਨ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਪਲਾਨ ਕੀਤਾ, you should be able to accomplish. So, like usual, we'll start our program with our quote of the day. We'll talk a bit about the personality who gave us the quote. Today, there was an important day in 1953, the first televised event in the history of UK. We'll talk about that, what day that is. Just like every Thursday, we get a guest from Alberta, BC, Mr. Amrit Pura. He's a realtor. He will be talking to us about the marketplace and will join the casual conversation. Before I move forward, I would like to say this to all those people who have their birthdays or marriage anniversaries or who got newborns in their families. Many congratulations to you all. Enjoy your life, stay happy, and get the maximum benefit. Make as many memories as you can on this day. That is an exclusive day for your family. With that, we'll start with our quote, and the quote that I got today is from Ralph Waldo Emerson. Simple quote, but it's worth pondering over. For every minute you are angry, for every minute you are angry, you lose 60 seconds of happiness. ਇੱਕ ਮਿੰਟ ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਗੁੱਸੇ 'ਚ ਰਹਿੰਦੇ ਹੋ ਤਾਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ 60 ਸੈਕਿੰਡ ਦੀ ਖੁਸ਼ੀ ਤੋਂ ਮਹਿਰੂਮ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦੇ। ਹੁਣ ਇੱਕ ਮਿੰਟ ਲਿਆ ਤੇ 60 ਨੂੰ ਉਹਨੇ ਡਿਜਿਟ ਦਿੱਤਾ, 2 ਨੰਬਰ ਉਹਨੇ ਕਨਵਰਟ ਕਰਤਾ। I think he just wanted to show the magnitude. 60 times ਕਰ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਉਹਨੇ ਨੰਬਰ ਇੱਕ ਦਾ, ਪਰ ਯੂਨਿਟ 'ਚ ਆਪਾਂ ਕਨਵਰਸ਼ਨ ਨਾ ਕਰੀਏ। So when you get into small anger, you lose a lot of happiness. That's what I meant to say. So Ralph Waldo Emerson, ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਨਾਮ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਸੀਗਾ ਮਿਡਲ ਨੇਮ ਨਾਲ ਜਾਣੇ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਸੀਗੇ, ਵਾਲਡੋ। He was an American essayist, lecturer, philosopher, abolitionist. I think I'm not pronouncing it right. Abolitionist and a poet who led the, again another very difficult word that I'm going to say, I hope I could pronounce that right, transcendentalist movement ਦੇ ਇਹ ਮੋਢੀ ਰਹੇ ਹੈ in mid 19th century. He was seen as a champion of individualism and a prescient critic of the countervailing pressures of society, and his ideology was disseminated through dozens of published essays, more than 1,500 public lectures. That's what his legacy comes. ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਐਸੇ ਲਿਖੇ ਹੈ ਜੀ। ਹੁਣ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਇਹ ਟ੍ਰਾਂਸੈਂਡੈਂਟਲਿਸਟ ਮੂਵਮੈਂਟ ਦੀ ਆਪਾਂ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ, ਪਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਿਉਂ ਲੋਕ ਇੰਨੇ ਔਖੇ ਵਰਡ ਬਣਾ ਲੈਂਦੇ ਤੇ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਪ੍ਰੋਨਾਊਂਸ ਕਰ ਲੈਂਦੇ ਆ। ਸੋ ਵਾਲਡੋ ਲਾਸਟ ਇੰਟਰਸਟ ਇਨ ਰਿਲੀਜਨ, ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਸੀਗੇ ਰਿਲੀਜੀਅਸ, ਫਿਰ ਉਹ ਚੇਂਜ ਹੋ ਗਏ। ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਇਹ ਟ੍ਰਾਂਸਡੈਂਟਲਿਸਟ ਮੂਵਮੈਂਟ ਜੁਆਇਨ ਕੀਤੀ, ਇਹਦਾ ਇੱਕੋ ਪਰਪਸ ਸੀਗਾ ਕਿ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਲੋਕੀ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ, ਪਬਲਿਕ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਆ, ਉਹ ਬਹੁਤ ਹੀ ਚੰਗੇ ਆ ਐਜ਼ ਲੌਂਗ ਐਜ਼ ਦੇ ਆਰ ਇੰਡੀਪੈਂਡੈਂਟ ਐਂਡ ਦੇ ਆਰ ਇੰਡੀਵਿਜੂਅਲ। ਪਰ ਸੰਸਾਰਿਕ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਖਰਾਬ ਕਰ ਦਿੰਦੀਆਂ। ਸੋ ਦੈਟਸ ਵਾਟ ਦਿਸ ਵਰਡ ਟ੍ਰਾਂਸੈਂਡੈਂਟਲਿਸਟ ਕੇਮ ਫਰੋਮ। ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਕੋਟ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਅਸੀਂ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ 'ਚ ਅੱਗੇ ਚਲਾਂਗੇ। ਆਪਣੇ ਨਾਲ ਸਾਡੇ ਦੋਸਤ ਆਏ ਹੋਏ ਆ ਜੀ, ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤਸਰ ਜੀ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਅਸੀਂ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਸਾਹਮਣੇ ਪੇਸ਼ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ। ਤੇ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਨੀ ਚਾਹਾਂਗੇ ਕਿ ਅੱਜ ਦੇ ਦਿਨ ਕਿਹੜੀ ਇੰਪੋਰਟੈਂਟ ਚੀਜ਼ ਹੋਈ ਆ, ਉਹਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਅਸੀਂ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਨੀ ਚਾਹਾਂਗੇ। ਉਹ ਸੀਗੀ ਜੀ ਐਲਿਜ਼ਾਬੈਥ II ਦੀ ਕੋਰੋਨੇਸ਼ਨ। It took place on June 2nd, 1953 ਅੱਜ ਜੂਨ 2 ਹੈਗੀ। ਇਹ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਆ ਕਿ ਪਹਿਲਾ ਟੈਲੀਵਾਈਜ਼ ਕੋਰੋਨੇਸ਼ਨ ਇਵੈਂਟ ਸੀਗਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਕਿ ਹਿਸਟਰੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਦਰਜ ਕੀਤਾ ਗਿਆ। ਇਸ ਇਵੈਂਟ ਨੂੰ ਪਲਾਨ ਕਰਨ ਵਾਸਤੇ 14 ਮਹੀਨੇ 14 months ਦਾ ਟਾਈਮ ਲੱਗਿਆ। More than 8,000 guests and dignitaries were invited to the coronation। ਇਹ ਉਸ ਵੇਲੇ ਐਲਿਜ਼ਾਬੈਥ II ਜਿਹੜੀ ਹੈ, she was about 25 years old on the death of her father George VI on 6 February 1952। ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਕੁਈਨ ਪ੍ਰੋਕਲੇਮ ਕਰ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਗਿਆ ਸੀਗਾ। ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਵੈਸਟਮਿੰਸਟਰ ਐਬੇ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜੂਨ 2 1953 ਨੂੰ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਗੱਦੀ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਬਿਠਾਇਆ ਗਿਆ, ਕੁਈਨ ਆਫ ਬ੍ਰਿਟੇਨ ਬਣਾਇਆ। So with that, let's move forward to the next segment. We'll talk a bit more about housing market, Bank of Canada rate, discussion, mortgage ਦੀ ਕੋਈ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ ਜੋ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਸੰਭਵ ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ, and then we'll share the rates today with you, and we'll hear some great viewpoints and market update from our friend. So Mr. Sura, welcome to our beautiful, amazing, cool program. How are you today?
Good morning. Thank you for having me. Paul, Mr. Cheema, I wanted to say that your sound is a little bit unclear at the present time. Can you hear me well?
I can hear you well, but let me check my sound quality. Your audio is coming perfectly right. You carry on with your thing, and then I will come back with a little adjustment.
Perfect. So some of the things we're seeing here, like obviously the entire throughout Canada, it's been affected. The interest rates have gone up. So I had a conversation with a RBC mortgage specialist yesterday. So the fixed rate is about the mid 4s, and the variable rate will be 3.25%. And what that really means is, with that 0.5% increase, the buyers are going to have $50,000 less buying power. So adha lakh hona da hun purchasing li minimize ho gaya. Will it affect the demand? I don't think so. We might see a little bit of a slowdown. Obviously, hun school holidays we have, a lot of children are going to go, children and families are going to get prepared for their vacations for the first time after this impact that we've had with COVID. Many people going to be away for the summer holidays, which leaves a little bit of an open opportunity now. Jinne bande transition from the east coast to the west coast, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ prime opportunity ਹੋਣੀ ਹੈਗੀ, ਜਿੱਦਾਂ location find ਕਰਨ ਨੂੰ, not too much competition for buyers. There'll be several buyers that can acquire realistic properties at good, decent prices, depending on seller motivation as well, right?
Yes.
ਜਿੱਥੇ ਵੀ ਆਪਾਂ ਦੇਖਦੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਵੀ development ਹੋਈ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਹੈਗੀ, so new projects are up and coming, and ਥੋੜੇ ਬਹੁਤ delay ਵੀ ਹੋਏ ਸੀਗੇ project due to city hall lack of staffing. Generally throughout different municipalities, you'll get a cycle where individuals start at one municipality and then they end up leaving. So staffing shortages have led to delays for some of the developments coming online. So we're seeing a lot more of those up and coming. So pre-sale activity vi hoi ja rahi hegi hai. Hun investor jehde hege baro, when I say baro, I mean outside the province, but within Canada, they're making bold decisions and preparing themselves. Okay, in the next 2 years, ਆਪਾਂ ਈਸਟ ਕੋਸਟ ਤੋਂ ਵੈਸਟ ਕੋਸਟ ਨੂੰ ਮੂਵ ਹੋ ਜਾਣਾ ਹੈਗਾ so we need a house or we need a apartment or we need a townhouse so let's secure the contract and move forward so I think it's a really good opportunity at the present time yes people are going to be fearful I mean I had conversations over the last couple of days with sellers ਜਿਹੜੇ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਹੈਗੇ sellers ਹੁਣ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਵੀ have we missed the market
Yes.
well that's an open broad question because one the market is always going to be there regardless of the ups and downs
Yes.
we just really have to dig deep on what the purpose is of the transition where are you moving to are you going to be satisfied with the life change if you're moving to a small town living having lived in Abbotsford or Cloverdale for that matter for 18 or 20 years yes you secured a good deal below the 200s now is it the right time to sell it's the right time to sell anytime you're emotionally ready to transition into a different type of lifestyle
I agree.
Yeah.
That's what I keep telling everyone. The right time is. Can you hear me clear now?
I can hear you, but there's an echo.
I will try to fix the echo, but I don't know what's going on today with the sound. I added another monitor. I think something has changed somewhere, but I will come back.
That's okay, but we can still hear you perfectly clear now.
Handle the stage for me for a minute.
Okay. So again, we're coming into opportunity season. Summertime obviously slows down. ਹੁਣ ਥੋੜਾ summer ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ slow down ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦੀ activity ਪਰ ਹੁਣ ਜਿਹੜੇ sellers position ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੈਗੇ ਦੂਸਰੇ ਬੰਦਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ opportunity ਦੇਣ ਦੀ bring your houses to the market have a reputable realtor come and have a look and then do the market research that's necessary to put you in a realistic position because at the end of the day yes an emotional thing is that's your house and home and your prized possession when a realtor comes into the picture that's a third party non-emotional view so we don't look at okay we're stuck to this because I like that table it has so many memories for us we come in to be the voice of reason to the decision that is finally going to help you transition and make the best use of your time right at the end of the day there's no real need for you to stay in a place which is 5,000 square feet when your kids have all moved out and yourself and your husband or yourself you can live in a 1,000 square foot property we had a conversation yesterday with an elderly couple and whether it's 5,000 square feet or 1,000 square feet it's shelter like the whole thing is to provide services to people who require improvement on what they see that requires the improvement.
You're very right, Mr. Sura. I totally agree. People, they overstep their, ranges, and then all hell breaks loose. As long as you understand what kind of house you want, how much living square footage you need, living area you need, what are your primary goals about schooling and neighborhood, your main material facts for the whole transaction, and you discuss with some great realtor just like Mr. Sura, to talk to him and get the right prospect on how you can buy that property, and are you really making that right decision. For sellers who say that, whose question Mr. Sura echoed, have we lost the market? Not really. The market is always there. You will never lose it. So the bottom line is, you sell expensive, you buy expensive. You sell cheap, you buy cheap. The ratio more or less will stay similar. It won't make a huge impact. But yes, the smaller homes are always in more demand than the bigger homes, because most of the people who start up, they want to be owners for the first time, they will always pick the smallest home. And that's how smaller homes do not lose much of value, while bigger homes over, let's say, the neighborhood pricing is average $1.6 million, that will keep staying $1.6 million. But for neighborhood that are, let's say, $3 million or $4 million, the whole demographic change, the buying power of people, their job culture, the quality of work, what they are doing, self-employed, business people, that starts changing. And do you want to live among them? If not, then why don't you think about some community that sounds like you, looks like you, talks like you, that will make a more harmonious living culture, rather than trying to bring up your living level similar to those highest gentry in the town. It doesn't make sense. So if you are at that level, well, definitely go there. There's no harm in thinking or dreaming that you want to be just like them. You want to buy a $5 million home, a $10 million home. That's okay. No harm in doing it. But today, you should check your pocket, in your bank, money in your bank, money in your investment, money that you're getting every day, because mortgages and house ownership is a very big commitment. It can really do wonders if you are wise. It can spoil everything if you are unwise. So if you need 2,000 square foot house, why would you put money for a $5,000 square foot house? So try to live according to your requirements. Do not look at other people. That's okay. Just have a roof over your head first, then that roof will provide for a bigger roof in the future. Am I right, Mr. Sura?
Absolutely. I mean, at the end of the day, you want to make sure you're living within or below your means. Right now, is that something that's taught at schools? It's a hard lesson to learn in life. So in preparation for that, I think there's some professional services that go out and about doing special talks about how to prepare for the future. Now, yes, we have an opportunity to live once, and each and every day. Why not make it the best possible life by having some kind of projection for the future? You want to make sure you're sustainable at the end of the day. Like if you look at anyone who's heavily involved with bodybuilding or weight training or fitness, they have a routine set. There's a study pattern on how to do what they need to do to achieve the goals that they have. That's for your body. Now, you also need to have the ability to, go through very important life lessons by utilizing your job or your business in order to prepare yourself without financial detriment, right? In the West, in the West, in North America, Europe, we're heavily influenced by the amount of debt we can incur, and then that can spiral out of control if you're not educated on that subject itself. I think it's a very important lesson. Maybe at a banking level, they need to get into and teach school kids the real strength of putting away a small amount of money, a little bit at a time. We have a saying in Swahili, kidogo kidogo ni jazi kalaba. Okay, So that means a little bit at a time fills the pot, right? Now, a lot of people would say, well, it's easier said than done. Well, in reality, you don't want to be so distracted that you're not preparing uh, for a week ahead. If you're not doing it for, if you're not pre-planning for a year, at
Yeah,
least pre-plan for a week, right?
yeah, well, that's perfectly right. So pre-plan,
Start slow
pre-plan,
and then grow.
pre-plan, plan is all the key word here.
Oh, 100%. 100%. I
Yes.
mean, at the end of the day, I was having a conversation with a lady the other day. There's a new project launch where we're busy selling there, and you always get somebody who comes up and says, "Well, my children are not never going to be able to afford to buy here."
Mm-hmm.
I said, "There's still going to be demand, and your children will have an opportunity to buy in Canada." Now, does that mean the demographic that they have to align themselves with is in a different province? Possibly. There's beautiful parts of Canada on the East Coast. Would it would it be outwardly outrageous for someone to move to New Brunswick or Newfoundland for the first 5 years of their professional life,
Mm-hmm.
if they're able to communicate and have jobs there too? I think it might be encouraging. So what's happening? What we're seeing is the cycle. It's like a circle. So
Yes.
whoever's in BC is taking the opportunity to go East Coast, buy something bigger, and then live out a lifestyle there a little while, and then again come back, uh, moving throughout the different provinces. Canada's huge, so there's plenty of opportunity here. So, I think the biggest thing that locally youngsters that are born here are facing the competition with people who are migrating to Canada, starting on the East Coast.
Mm-hmm.
They've come in with some heavy deposits, so we don't know everybody's financial position. All we can do is encourage people, um, start young, be in pole position
Yes.
to maybe have $100,000 nest egg um, by the time you're 18 or 25 at least, because
Yes.
you know
Perfect. Right.
the,
So we're still talking with Mr. Amrit Sura from Abbotsford, BC, and if you ever need his help, please give him a call. You can see his phone number scrolling through our system here. Otherwise, his phone number is 778 999 1531. 778-999-1531 for any properties in BC, Abbotsford area and nearby communities. Please give him a shout. He will definitely find you the best house and guide you very right. I can guarantee you on that. We'll be back soon, and I'm really sorry for a couple of glitches this morning. We made some changes to the system and that's caused some sound issues. I'm pretty confident the sound issues are fixed at the moment. So we'll give Mr. Sura a little break and we'll run this commercial ad for a few minutes. We'll be back soon. Thank you. Are you looking for a reliable legal office that can handle your closing in the most effective manner? If yes, please get in touch with Rakesh Joshi at 416-213-8600. Joshi Law Office provides all the legal advices about real estate law, business law, immigration laws, notarization and affidavits, wills and trust. Give them a call today, 416-213-8600. Are you looking for reliable immigration services? If yes, contact Sukhi Paul at 647-296-4575 or Office phone number 905-790-8877. They are located at 219 220 at 7956 Torban Road. It's right at the intersection of Torban Road and Steeles Avenue West. Contact them for all kind of visa services. Finding an honest and diligent insurance and investment advisor is a rarity these days. If you are looking for great advice, contact Mr. Bhupendra Mane, who is the regional director of Cosmos Financial Center. They are located at Union number 830 Top Flight Drive, Mississauga. The phone number to call is 647 448 6229. Give them a call today. Is your business suffering from performance? If yes, it is the right time to call Ravinder Duggi at 416 807 7986. She will find out the weak points and the points where the performance issues are paramount and help you fix those issues. Give her a call today. Do not be late. Are you looking to buy or sell your home or any commercial real estate? If yes, call me today at 647 333 2273 or 647 328 3279. I provide services in real estate and mortgages. I am mortgage broker with Akal Mortgages Inc, where when we say yes, we stand behind our promise. Reach out to me today. Do you want to shop right without burning your pockets? If yes, please visit Monisha Discount Warehouse at 377 Burnhamthorpe Road, East Mississauga, Ontario. They are the best. They have all kind of Indian, Pakistani and other local stuff that you can buy at literally throwaway prices. Contact them at 905-361-0773. Monisha Discount Warehouse. D.P. Jain is a well-known name in the fields of accounting. You can contact him today at his cell number 416-305-0080 or his office number 905-790-9327. Once you start working with him, you will never want to leave him. He is 5-star professional. Call him today. D.P. Jain Professional Corporation. PC24 RE-TV is heard over so many different channels. If you want to promote your business for free, call me at 647-333-2273. You can also send your artwork to contact@paulcheema.com. We are here to be partners in your business success. 647-333-2273. Are you PC24 is back with you guys now. Thank you very much for waiting. Bank of Canada on June 1st has revised the rate up by 50 basis points. So that means now the total overnight rate is 1.50%. And when bank says it's going to achieve a hawkish approach, these are signs that there will be another similar 50 basis point increase in the next revision. Well, there's a strong indicator, but it is also anticipated that maybe this is also the start of lowering down the rate hikes. So what does it mean is that after next raise of 50 basis point, the bank may reduce next raise to 25 basis point or a quarter. That was the usual case. The Bank of Canada is trying to end the year at 3% rate. Its policy rate. So, but the banks have already increased their rates. That was going to happen because the variable rate mortgages all depend on prime rate, and when the prime rate goes up, everything changes. So banks have already gone up. I will soon share the rates of today with you using my MoPolo app, and that will be give you a crystal clear indication of how the market is moving for the mortgages. If you have not yet, please download MoPolo O app on your smartphone, be it Android, be it BlackBerry or iPhone. This is available for all the platforms. And we will continue our discussion with Mr. Sura from Abbotsford in a short while. So what does today's, June 1st rate increase mean for the consumer? For every $100,000, a 50 basis point increase translates to $25 more in monthly mortgage payment on a 25 years amortization. So if you have, let's say, $600,000 mortgage, that means your mortgage payments will go up by, I'm trying to do a mental math, $150 per month. So if you are on a variable mortgage today, a 50 basis point increase means $25 increase for every $100,000 mortgage amount, which is amortized over 25 years. And this is going to very seriously impact many families who have way bigger houses than they could afford. I don't know how they did that magic, but the things might be very unstabilizing for them. The vast majority of variable rates entail a fixed monthly payment. So there are rates that are capped. So when the rates are capped, what happens is it's only the interest component increases while the principal component keeps decreasing. Let's say your monthly payment is $5,000. And in the beginning, when the rate was low, you were 50-50 on interest and this principal recapture. That means $2,500 were going toward interest payments, $25 were coming back to you as equity. But now with change in interest rates goes higher. So now from that $5,000 slab or pie, the component that's going to toward the interest maybe $3,000, and you are only getting $2,000 recapture of your equity. So if the rates go up again, the payment stays $5,000, but now you have a lesser than $2,000 principal coming to you as equity into your house. So that is called fixed, that is a capped variable rate. So this is not going to, many people may not even feel that if they took that advantage. But otherwise, if it is a regular variable, that's going to go up and down throughout the thing. So the amortization is still 25-30 years depending upon your down payment. So Bank of Canada is definitely going to change rate on 13th July next month, which is next month upward. So be careful, guys. Make the right decision right now. It says the Scotiabank economist Derek Holt said, given that the Bank of Canada has already been hiking a 50-point clip twice in a row now, more forcefully could well mean faster than a 50 at a time is in the cards. Faster than 50 at a time is in the cards, so could go higher than 50 basis point. Alternatively, more forcefully could mean a more compressed pattern of hikes, which would be consistent with our 100 basis point of further hikes in the next two meetings. It could also mean that the Bank of Canada is signaling a higher terminal rate objective. Most economists are in agreement with market forecasts that a 50 basis point hike is now baked into the July meeting. So it's already baked into the July meeting, so you shouldn't be surprised unless inflation surprises to the high side once again. So everything that is going on is an attempt to bring the inflation down. So they are hoping inflation doesn't give any surprise. If it comes too low, the rate may only be 25 basis point up. But if it stays high again, you could see 50 basis point hike in the next meeting, which will be on 13th July 2022. So markets instead focus on the wording of the statement where it says hawkish. When say more forcefully, I take it as a threat. What do you say, Mr. Sura? Bank is saying, I'm going to do this, okay? So it's a threat coming your way.
Well, 100%. I mean, but at the end of the day, they also want to be able to be in a position to continue, generating the billions of dollars that they do. They lend money. So they're not going to want to stop lending. There has to be some way of them continuing their trajectories, obviously.
Yes.
They want to slow things down a little bit, and it definitely will. But again, we're not only dealing with internal interests locally.
Mm-hmm.
External interest is also coming in. Like you're facilitating, hundreds of thousands of people that are transitioning to Canada. Canada is a land of opportunity where people still desire to come, regardless
Absolutely.
of whether the inflation is going to or the mortgage rates are going to be hiked up substantially. People still need shelter. There's going to be people who are able to make those commitments. Maybe if they're overcommitted, they might need to
call from Safaricom.
Make a plan to go ahead and transition into something more affordable. So the cycle will continue, right? So
you're right.
What I've learned being fortunate enough to live in the Western world is that everything is cyclical, and opportunities are there. So whether or not the banks pre-plan an extortionate increase, it's not going to stop the demand, right? You're going to continue to see people still have to transition. People are coming in with substantial amounts of down payments and deposits ready. They just have to make sure that they've lived in and they have their PRs, lived in each province. For BC anyway, you have to be able to live. You have to be a resident of BC for 1 year. If you're purchasing below 500,000, you don't pay property transfer tax. So, and I had a conversation the other day with a young gentleman, and he says, "Well, I've got 1 lakh saved, but I can't afford anything more than 500,000." I said, "A lot of people don't have 1 lakh, right? So you're doing really well. The idea now is to stay consistent on our search in order to get the best deal for them." And yes, the people that obviously controlling the financial markets can slow things down as much as they want.
Did you just use the word 1 lakh?
Oh, 100%, yeah. 1
Oh,
lakh,
okay,
100,000.
yeah, 1 lakh is the terminology we use in India quite often, and that 1 lakh here becomes $100,000. It took me a long time getting used to that $100,000 phrase. I would fumble when saying that kind of statement. Whereas 100,000, $270 or 100,000, $110,000. It was so mind-boggling in the beginning when you come from India to Canada and you say 1 lakh and they say 100,000. It throws you off. Yeah, so right now we are seeing, I totally understand what you're trying to say, Mr. Sura, that immigration is running parallel, which is going to fuel the demand. But right now, everyone is scared. Yeah, those coming from overseas, from other countries, moving into Canada, trying to make Canada their new home. It may not be a big surprise for them because they haven't experienced the low rates or high rates in the beginning. So they are starting a brand new slate for themselves. But for people who are living here, the majority who are going to buy a house, while the newcomers they struggle to settle down, find a place, work, and create some consistency, there will be some disconnect for a while. And demand has already gone down. The market has been cooled down very significantly. Listings are taking way more time to sell. Buyers are trying to beat down the sellers on price. It is changing right now, and with this 50 basis point and next anticipated 50 basis point, I guess the buyers are still going to wait after July, and then the market goes down, which is normal cycle of real estate in Canada. In Ontario, at least, I can't speak of British Columbia, but in Ontario the cycle heats up from mid-January, goes all the way, then July vacations comes in, and then things start going slow, and then September, October, November, we are in winter season, very few houses are available for sale, and then we are again waiting for the next year. So this is a usual cycle. So the season coupled with the rate changes is going to keep the market down. That's what I'm thinking. Even though I don't want to think that way, I really want to give an upbeat mood to people. But unfortunately, I'm seeing the sentiment of buyers, and they're saying, so on my $1.2 million listing in Kitchener, they say, I can only give you $1 million. And that is illogical, because when we priced the house for $1.2 million, we priced it so as to attract way more competition. But suddenly, within 30 days, while the listing is being ready to get into market, being staged, we are waiting for appliances, and when another house barely less than 1 month away sold for $1.355 million, and that was 100 square feet lesser than my listing the square footage, we couldn't reach that price. We couldn't get that price. Everyone was lowballing and lowballing and lowballing, and sellers cannot afford to sell because they have to return the rebate they received from the builder for HST, which is built into the price. So it is a very catchy situation at the moment for many such people, and buyers are trying to beat down, and trust me, nobody is selling there. The sellers are holding on to their properties. They say, okay, we'll keep it the way it is right now, we're not selling. But let's see how long they can hold those properties. Overall, Canada, you see, the prices have changed, haven't changed that much like they used to change in the beginning. I was trying to see if I could get a screen here, how the things moved on the national scale. I think I did screw something up on the computer, and now it's giving me a hard time, but that's okay. That's the beauty of being innovative and trying to get over those struggles. Oh yeah, I got national price map here. On the national price match in April, Canada-wide, it was 7.4% increase year over year for Canada. I don't know if you have looked up for British Columbia. British Columbia was up 12.1% from last year, and we are talking all kind of houses. And then in Ontario, overall Ontario was 13.3%, and we have seen it go up to 30% as well a few months back. And if I break down to Greater Toronto Area, where is Toronto? Okay, I see it here. And Greater Toronto Area is 30.6% up from the last year. That's cool, right? That is amazing, 30.6%. So Toronto still has that electrified approach. And in British Columbia, Greater Vancouver area is lesser than Greater Toronto area, 18.9%, with an average home price of $1,155,700, or in Indian language, 1 lakh. I don't know how you say that again.
10
1
lakhs.
lakh
10
15. No, I can't. I kind of confused. 1 lakh 15,000, 1 lakh, 11 lakh 55,700 in Indian language. 11 lakh 55,700 is how we will be talking about that. So that's the average price in Greater Vancouver area right now. I'm overlooking at the overall scenario. So I hope if you look at the data, it will sound similar to this. And in Toronto, the average price is lesser than the Greater Vancouver area price by more than $100,000, but the increase from the last year in April was way more. From 18.9%, we are here to 30.6%. So Toronto, financial capital of Ontario, you can never lose money when you buy in GTA. So that's how we are.
So also it's going to directly correlate to, again, when there's an increase in prices, there's certain taxation elements to it as well. So on every sale, there's tax paid, right?
Yeah.
Unless you're a first-time home buyer, there's taxes going to be paid. So that's a lot of my conversations with people when they say, well, is the market slowing down? Is it tanking? Is it doing negative things? Well, it depends on what lens you're looking at it from. You're looking at it from the immediate sense where they've announced, okay, your borrowing power is going to be reduced by half a lakh on this half a percent increase. Then do they want to slow it down so much that there's no buying or there's no money lending? Each time there's a property transacted, the government requires that there's transfer tax paid. So are they going to stop that completely? No. So the ever revolving cycle will continue and keep continuing. And regardless of the conditions, again, when you're looking at your property in Kitchener, you said, well, somebody's lowballing it at the present time. Well, at the end of the day, that is an offer, and an offer to treat, whether they like it or not, that's fine. So what it does tell us is that the seller has time. We can't move the location. If the price is what the price is, then we have time.
Yep.
If price can be affected, then we have to sort of minimize the time, correct? So at the end of the day, everybody's going to require some service to find shelter, whether it's investment properties, whether it's a corporate purchase in order to provide homes. The market will continue moving. There'll be deals that people get, off-market deals. Maybe somebody will be able to acquire some great deals because somebody's been a little bit more risky on their financial output. Maybe they have to take a loss. Now, that's a conversation you'd have at the end of the year with your accountant to say, okay, well, we made a purchase and there's been a loss, so adjust the books accordingly. Yeah,
well, that's true, but people are not tuned to think on those lines right now unless people like you keep educating them. Education is, that's why it's key. We
have to do it. We all have to do it together, right?
Yes, we all have to do it together. We have to have some kind of forum where we disseminate that information. This is a good platform though. So I was very much astonished to know that in Alberta, you don't have the land transfer tax, which is cool. So you pay uh, tens of thousands of dollars in Ontario towards land transfer tax. Alberta doesn't have a land transfer tax. Instead, they have some land title registration fee. So if you are buying a property for, let's say, $400,000, or oh no, sorry, if you are buying a property for $500,000, you are only paying $280 to register your property. That's cool. There is some new thing for me, because I was speaking with someone from Alberta, and it suddenly came up in discussion that Alberta doesn't have land transfer tax. And I said, wow, how cool is that? The prices are low and you are not paying land transfer tax. It says $50 plus $1 for every 500, sorry, we are so much used to use the word 500,000 all the time. $50 plus $1 for every 5,000 of land value. So if the house is valued at, let's say, $500,000, you are only paying 50 plus 150 for $500,000, right? That becomes $150. And similarly, the mortgage registration fee is similar. So adding mortgage registration fee, let's say the mortgage registration fee is the mortgage is $400,000 on $500,000 property price. So following the same formula, that is $50 and $1 for every $5,000, you pay $130 for registering your mortgage. So now $130 plus $150 becomes $280 to register your property, which was $500,000 price tagged. How cool is that? Do you have similar system in BC, Mr. Sura? Is there land transfer tax in BC?
There's a property transfer tax here, so it works out to 1% on the first 200,000, and then 2% on 200,000 to 2 million, and then from 2 million and beyond is 3%. So, you know, for let's do a quick calculation on a similar
so let's
purchase.
say it is $500,000 price of the property, and we're buying in British Columbia.
If you're a first-time home buyer, that if it's $500,000 and less, you don't pay the property transfer tax as long as you're a resident of BC for more than 1 year. So 500,000. We've got 2,000 on the first 100. Oh, sorry, 2,000 on the first 200. So 300,000 times 2%, 6,000 plus 2,000 is $8,000 for a $500,000 purchase, as long as you're not a first-time home buyer.
So if I'm buying a property for $800,000, my provincial tax, which is BC tax, comes down to $14,000. And when I click on I'm a first-time home buyer, so BC doesn't have any program for the first-time home buyers. Is that right?
No, they do have a program. Anything 500,000 market value and below, you do not pay property transfer tax.
So
if you're a first-time home buyer,
because I will try to redo calculations. It went somewhere else, anyways. So what I was trying to do is I'm putting, let's say, $1 million home purchase price, Abbotsford, BC. Then I click I am a first-time home buyer. It does not reduce anything there. It keeps saying $18,000. That's what it is. But like you said, up to $500,000, there is no tax. Yeah, there is
now
no tax.
If there's a new home, there's a threshold of $750,000 that would apply to the first-time home buyers.
Yeah. So the rebate does not apply if the price is over $500,000
For a resale.
for a resale.
If you're buying brand new, up to 750,000 threshold, the first-time home buyers will be eligible for a rebate.
Well, this is what I have here. If I am buying a property for $500,000 in BC, my tax is 0. Right? I have ticked on the thing. It says I am the first-time home buyer. But when I change the price to $800,000, I am given the tax, land transfer tax of $14,000. But then there is no rebate built up there, like $8,000. So in Ontario, if the property tax on $800,000 is $14,000, let me put Mississauga as city now, and on $800,000 property, the land transfer tax is $14,475. But then there is a rebate of $4,000, so your net tax comes to be $8,475. But in BC, if the house is only up to $500,000, you get a rebate of $8,000. And if the house is higher than $500,000, the calculator gives me higher amount. This is something new for us, and we'll need to dig more into this.
So anywhere between 5 and 525, there's a partial rebate for a first-time home buyer.
Okay. Well, this is where we are now. It's time for us to call it a day. It's 11:28 minutes, and I will quickly share the rates with you. The rates are here. If you will see, we are looking at the fixed rates haven't changed. They are again the same, 3.09, 6.30, all those things didn't change. And the only thing that changed is 5-year variable rate from 2.25, it has become 2.75. And the prime rate from 3.20 has changed to 3.70. Qualifying criteria still says at 5.25%. I'm talking about Ontario. I have no knowledge about British Columbia, but I'm talking about Ontario. These are the rates here in Ontario at the moment. So if you are still looking to get a mortgage, refinance, or you want to switch your mortgage, lower your payments, consolidate your debt, guess what, who you call? Yours truly, Paul Cheema, or better call Paul. That's how I used to say, better call Paul for the best price. I don't know if Mr. Sura has seen that TV show called Better Call Saul. So,
it's been many years now since I've watched TV, so I haven't seen that. No.
Well, they're used to Breaking Bad. In Breaking Bad, they say Better Call Saul, and I say Better Call Paul. I had a funny screen on my car, which got stolen with the banner. But anyways, I would like to end the program right now. Thank you very much, Mr. Amrit Sura, and I thank each and every one of you who watched this TV show as it was being broadcast, or those who will be watching it at their own timeline. Thank you very much for your love and affection. At the same time, for families who lost their family members today, PC24, Amrit Sura, and Paul Cheema join you in this moment of sorrow, and we will pray for peace to the departed soul. Keep living with their memories. These days, technology has made us see them every day, and you just lose them physically. They are with you emotionally, mentally, in your actions, in your words, in whatever you do. They live along with you. So don't feel sad. This is how life runs. Nobody can change it. This is never going to be altered in any way. Even the scientist can be 10,000 times smarter than they are today. We are born to die and die to born. So with that, we end this program. Thank you very much once again. Thank you very much, Mrs. Sura.